You're listening to AM Rockland's morning briefing. It's Monday, October 27th. All right, we got a whole bunch of news to give to you. We're switching the format a little bit. We're going to give you the summaries, the weather, and a little bit of more of a long-form story. Again, we've been working on this for the last several years. We're enjoying it, but we want to make sure that this is a valuable service. Let's get into some of the headlines. The Paramus Mall jewelry heist suspects have been placed in custody, and guess where they're from? Rockland County. But that has nothing to do with neither here nor there. There's also a whole bunch of other things that have happened. Domestic violence firearm law has gone into effect in New York State. Early voting opens countywide. And Haverstraw spa investigation leads to, a whole bunch of prostitution arrests. There's been Coyote sightings in Ramapo. The Palisades Center has a financial shakeup once again. $100 million in healthcare investment announced, and Rockland's school bus safety program is indeed succeeding. Let's talk about the weather briefly. It's 43 degrees right now at 10 o'clock in the morning. Monday, 51 degrees high. Tuesday is going to be 55. Wednesday, 52. All mostly or partially sunny. It's going to switch around on Thursday. It's going to be 57 degrees and rainy, which kind of sucks because there's an open mic night down at Casa del Sol that will not be missed. Rain, sleet, shine, or nuclear holocaust. It must be checked out. It's run by Tito and folks over at Electric Beef, and there's also going to be a Black Sabbath tribute on that particular evening. So definitely check it out over Casa del Sol. Friday and Saturday, it's going to be 54 degrees, mostly sunny. And then Sunday is going to be 51 degrees and partially cloudy, maybe a chance of rain. And then heading into All Souls Day on Monday, it's going to be 50 degrees. We want to thank our many sponsors for Rockland's News. First of all, Yabu Fence Company. Yabu! Woo! I love being able to do that without being copyright infringed. Hopefully they will never come after me, but I got to tell you, Yabu Fence Company is where it's at for all your fencing needs. If you need privacy fence, if you need chain link fence, if you need industrial fence, wood, PVC fence, they can handle all your fence needs. Since 1965, third generation family-owned business located in West Nyack, New York. Check them out at yabufence.com. Our friends over at Dana Pest Control, also third generation family owned, located in Tompkins Cove. They can take care of all your pests except for your relatives. And you can check them out at danapestcontrol.com. Winterproof your house from those rodents and them creepy crawlies that might get in. You don't want any of your relatives going, get on top of a chair, something like that. You just don't want that. So danapestcontrol.com, they can take care of all of your pest needs. Easy Temp, located in Hackensack, New Jersey. I want to apologize to Easy Temp last week. I was a little tired and I said that they're in Hackensack, New York. They are not. They're in Hackensack, New Jersey. And I know them very well for the last 10 years. And it's also family-owned business. We work very well with family-owned businesses, and they take care of your commercial refrigeration needs. Say, for instance, if you walk into a convenience store or a restaurant, obviously refrigeration of foods has to happen. Well, the guys behind the scenes at Easy Temp are the ones that make sure that those refrigerant machines are well maintained. And they also handle heating matters, commercial as well as home heating. Kobe Sushi, new music lounge located in New City, New York. They've been in business for a long time, but they opened up a new music lounge. It's twice the size, 80-person capacity. They got a jazz lounge area in the front of the place and just a whole bunch of awesome food and great vibes. We're actually having several events over there, including this Wednesday night. I'm actually going to meet up with a few colleagues for some after hours dialogue and discussion. Our friends over at 202 Cannabis, located in Garnerville, New York. It is the first cannabis dispensary open in Rockland County. They were there first. Gosh darn it. And they did it right, too. It's in the old TD Bank location, so there's a safe there. So in case anybody runs in and says, give me all your weed, Apparently they can't because it's safely locked away. But you know what? Last time I checked, and I don't know about this darn cannabis thing, but I would say that usually from studies have shown, usually the so-called stoners are fairly peaceful. So the folks over at 202 Cannabis, I think they do it right. Also family owned. How about that? Fantastic, fantastic. We got two realtors here, Susan Bova from Coldwell Banker Realty, as well as Lauren Molino Muller, Howard Hanna Rand Realty. They've been in the business for many, many years. They still look youthful, but they can help you with all your relocation needs. If you're buying or selling, check them out. They are fantastic people. I know them well. And thank you for supporting Rockland News. Ladies, Whole Shot Bagels, located on Route 9W in Haverstraw, New York. And they have also been patrons of Rockland News for many years. They were one of the first early adopters of what we're trying to do, is just report the news. And check them out on Route 9W. And they got some great egg and cheese sandwiches and, of course, some fantastic coffee. As a half Colombian, I can relate to fantastic coffee. So they're over at Whole Shot Bagels in Haverstraw, New York on Route 9W. 99 signs. A business without a sign is a sign of no business. That's right. Your folks over at 99 Signs can handle all of your sign needs, including lawn signs for elections, as well as huge banners, billboards, storefront signs, street signs, all sorts of lit up signs, any sort of signs that you need. You can get them at 99 Signs. And Greg and team over there, they run a really well professional, organized company. We got all of our signs for Rockland Music Fest over there, and we are very appreciative of the work that they do. And finally, for now, the Workforce Development Board of Rockland County, that's rocklandworks.org. Get a job, for goodness sakes. And you can get all of the training that you need for the new job for free, people, for free. You don't have to go to YouTube. You don't have to go to you should go to college. It's not a bad thing, but just in the interim, go to this place. I have worked with them for over 6 or 7 years, and they're basically looking to help employ people that want to get gainful employment. Check them out at rocklandworks.org. Job training programs, free resources so that you can be gainfully employed in this new millennium that we call right now. rocklandworks.org. All right, let's get into the news. Where is the news? The news is over here because we wrote it up this morning. I want to thank the Rockland News team for doing the news this morning. I know you got up at 7 o'clock in the morning to do this. I got a little bit I want this done. This news is what I've always wanted it to be. And here we go. First of all, a domestic violence firearm law, as reported on Rockland News, has enacted requiring police officers to temporarily remove firearms during domestic violence responses, even if the weapons are legally owned. And the measure, which is now being enforced in Rockland County, allows officers to take custody of any gun found in plain sight or in the possession of an arrested individual when domestic abuse is suspected. Lawmakers say that the rule is intended to prevent the escalation of volatile domestic situations, which statistically are among the most dangerous calls police handle. Officers must provide the owner with a written receipt and ensure the firearm's safe return once the investigation concludes and court requirements are met. As reported by the Rockland County Biz Journal, the Palisades Center's financial shakeup happens once again, and you've seen this in the news over the last several years. The value of the mall was originally somewhere like $478 million, and now it's down to a bit of a pittance of that. Investors in West Nyack's Palisades Center Mall are taking major financial hits after the mall's commercial mortgage-backed debt was sold at a deep discount. Rockland County Business Journal reports that the mall's loan was transferred to a new owner at nearly half its original value, signaling continued stress for the region's largest retail property. Analysts say that the sale could open the door to debt restructuring or even new development opportunities if lenders decide to reposition the property. And that falls in line with the trend that's been happening over the last several years. Conversion of commercial properties into the possible residential housing and or mixed use properties. Something to note. Despite the financial turbulence, the mall remains open with tenants operating as usual, although, according to the Rockland Business Journal, foot traffic and revenue remain below pre-pandemic levels. Early voting is officially underway for the November 4th general election across Rockland County. It started on Saturday, and residents can vote at any of the 7 designated early voting centers from now through this coming Sunday, which is November 2nd. Each location offers extended weekday and weekend hours, and ballots can be cast regardless of your local polling district. Election officials encourage voters to come early to avoid long lines on Election Day. Contests this year include several municipal board races and ballot propositions, along with county legislative seats. You can find voting hours and site maps at voterockland.com. And coming up on Rockland's News, we will have an election profile list of all the potential candidates and incumbents that are running for re-election. I should also note this is an interesting election because according to New York state law now, this will be the last off-cycle voting election where you can only vote in local and not vote in New York state-based things. And listen, you know what? I don't give a flying hoot. I vote no matter what. I do see the potential either way for voting patterns to be disrupted at very least. I don't know if there's going to be more local voting or less local voting. All I know is it's a good idea to vote, in my opinion. Anyway, back to the news. As recorded by the Rockland's report, a Haverstraw spa investigation led to arrests. Some naughty things that were being done over there. Haverstraw police have arrested 2 men following an undercover operation at a local spa suspected of operating without proper licensing. Investigators say that the sting was part of a broader initiative targeting illegal massage parlors. Illegal massage is basically code for a different type of massage, and potential human trafficking network, definitely not good, in the county. Authorities seized business records and cash and say additional arrests are possible pending ongoing investigations. Police remind residents that unlicensed establishments can pose both legal and safety concerns and urge anyone with information about similar businesses to contact local law enforcement. As also reported on the Rockland Report, unrelated, the Ramapo Police Department has issued an advisory after multiple reports of coyotes seen in the residential neighborhoods. Officers say that most encounters occur around dawn or dusk, particularly in wooded areas near Montebello and Airmont. I said particularly a little fast. That's why I got a little stuttery there. But residents are urged to secure garbage bins, keep small pets indoors. Yeah, we don't want to lose our small pets. And never leave food outside, which makes sense because around here, up in Stony Point, sometimes we see bears coming around these parts, and they kind of try to go for the garbage, a la the movie The Great Outdoors, as well as the raccoons. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation says that while coyotes are typically wary of humans, they can become bold if fed or cornered, like the movie The Gray. Anyone encountering an aggressive coyote should make loud noises, get my drum kit out, back away slowly, and call animal control or police. Or your friends over at Dana Pest Control, located in Tompkins Cove, New York, danapestcontrol.com. Thank you for being a sponsor of Rockland's News. As reported by the Muncie Scoop, Governor Kathy Hochul has unveiled a $100 million capital investment in the Westchester Medical Center Health Network, which includes hospitals serving Rockland County residents. The funding will expand emergency capacity, upgrade critical care units, and support infrastructure projects designed to modernize regional health care. Hochul emphasized that the investment will strengthen safety net hospitals that care for underserved populations throughout the Hudson Valley. Construction and improvements are expected to begin early next year, with job creation in both healthcare and construction sectors. Rockland County officials have reported a 30% drop in illegal school bus passing violations since launching the county's camera enforcement initiative. The program uses stop arm cameras on buses to automatically capture vehicles that fail to stop for flashing red lights. County Executive Ed Day says over 1,200 citations were issued this year, but more importantly, awareness campaigns appear to be changing driver behavior. Officials call it a major win for student safety, noting that 90% of violators were first-time offenders who have not reoffended. Okay, this is juicy. 3 Rockland County residents were arrested in Bergen County after allegedly stealing a $10,000 gold necklace from a jewelry store in the Paramus Mall Park. Police say that the suspects fled the scene on a vehicle registered in Spring Valley, Rockland, wherever. Investigators used license plate recognition cameras and retail surveillance footage to track the suspects within hours. Authorities recovered the stolen jewelry and charged the trio with theft and conspiracy. All 3 face extradition proceedings and additional charges in Rockland County related to prior larceny cases. So, they're in trouble. You can find out more about that story at themunciescoop.com, by the way. I think I'll be reading it. Hey, don't get me wrong. Rockland news is cool, but we got a whole variety of different, news organizations in Rockland County. I'll give you an example. There is a new, and if you think about it, you have a variety of different news organizations. You got Rockland News, you got Rockland County Biz Journal, you got the Muncie Scoop, you got the Rockland County Times, you got the Rockland Report. Well, I am pleased to announce to you, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a new player in the news area of Rockland, and that is the rocklandpost.com. Now, if you're into like elections and like political back and forth and some witty banter about like how things should be, well, you got to check out, oh my goodness, the rocklandpost.com, ladies and gentlemen. They have all of their stuff segmented by town: Clarkstown, Haverstraw, Orangetown, Ramapo, Stony Point. There's op-ed. You can even check out stuff about the entirety of the 17th Congressional District. I know for a fact that this particular publication is going to be updated often. I see October 27th. There's an article on there right now as we speak. Assemblyman Brabenek wishes everyone a safe Halloween. And on October 25th, Mark Licker wants to be reelected to Ward 1 Town Board seat. October 24th, Eugene Bodnar wants to unseat George Holman. Will it happen? Will it not happen? Who knows? Details coming soon. And also on October 23rd, and this is really cool, this gentleman, Robert Joasis, community editor for the Rockland Post, he put an article about Joanio's Brick It Again, building community one Lego at a time. We actually had Diana Hess on our Rockland News podcast approximately a month ago, and this is a report on how the Brick It Again Lego event happened over at Joanio. So definitely check out the rocklandpost.com. It is part, it's a separate publication, but it is part of the growing Rockland News Network, ladies and gentlemen, because the news ain't just with us. The news is with everybody, and we want the news to be there for you. Okay, and here's an example of some of the stuff that is mentioned on the Ramapo Rockland Post. It's a Ramapo-based article on the Rockland Post. Ramapo seniors celebrated Halloween with music, costumes, and prizes at the town's annual senior center party. Meanwhile, Suffern firefighters held a large-scale training drill in a long vacant warehouse downtown, unrelated to Halloween, giving crews a chance to practice live fire, like the fire, like not like, and rescue procedures in realistic conditions. And by the way, local fashion enthusiasts can mark their calendars. Rockland Fashion Week is returning in November, featuring runway events and pop-up boutiques promoting local designers and small businesses. And by the way, if you'd like to learn more about Rockland Fashion Week, you got to check out the Rockland's News podcast, because last Wednesday, we interviewed the founder of Rockland Fashion Week. That's Hope Wade from Hope Wade Fashions. She's got a shop down in Nyack. I don't know anything about fashion. If I walked into the fashion store, I'd probably get kicked out. But I can appreciate good fashion. And Rockland Fashion Week, we had a podcast interview with Hope Wade, who is the founder of Rockland Fashion Week. And let's find out right now when Rockland Fashion Week is, because there's a website for it. One moment, please. Fashion Week. There it is. You could go to rocklandfashionweek.com and check it out. It's going to be on November 8th at the Palisades Center. This is their 6th event. And by the way, this is a very all-inclusive event. Yes, you're going to have models with the whole thing with the attractive gear and this and that and everything like that. But I mean, let me put it this way. I would be allowed into Fashion Week if I had something fashionable to wear. Me, the schmo, can also be on there. And you could also have very diverse styles, people, it could be all inclusive. So definitely check it out, Rockland Fashion Week. And it's not just about the people, it's about the fashion. It's not just about the fashion, it's about the people. So I think it's really cool yin yang, and you got to see some of these designs. I am thoroughly impressed with some of these designs. Rockland Fashion Week on November 8th. You got to check them out. Sloatsburg drivers should plan for delays this week, as one lane of Sterling Mine Road will be closed for guardrail replacement and safety upgrades. Work crews will operate from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, weather permitting. The Rockland County Highway Department says the closure will rotate between east and westbound lanes to keep the traffic flowing. The project, expected to finish by early November, is part of the county's ongoing road safety improvement programs aimed at reducing roadway collisions. So that wraps up our Rockland's News, our briefing on Monday morning. I had more that I wanted to say. I actually was going to do another segment of no names, but I'll just say I am very, very much looking forward to my first town hall meeting tomorrow night in the autumn. And as I mentioned to a certain person in Stony Point, I'll be looking forward to speaking with you, about you, near you. I just want to be in your presence, bro. You are just like the shining example of development in Stony Point. I want to join your organization, man. And for those of you that think I'm being cryptic, please know that I'm going to be over at the town board meeting, and I'm going to get my 2 minutes. I already asked if I could have 2 minutes for public speaking. So we're going to stick with the 2-minute rule, and we'll be observant, because that's what we do here at Rockland's News. Other things to note: open mic night is on Thursday over at Casa del Sol. You got to check out the world famous open mic jam with Electric Beef running the open mic show, and also a Black Sabbath tribute concert. Also, my band bstribute.com is going to be there, and they're going to be doing a little Black Sabbath, 3 or 4 songs, something like that. Remember, the Rockland Music Fest app is live. You could go on your Roku device and on YouTube, and you could go and search for Rockland Music Fest. You could catch all of the shows that happened on September 27th, which was 1 month from today. It was in September 27th. It was our first stadium concert over there. It was a great time. We're looking forward to more. But first, we got to make sure that we get all of our details done for this one, because it was a long 8-month effort, and we still got another month or so to go just to make sure everything's taken care of. That is a commitment. and we mean it. Proceeds go to Meals on Wheels Rockland, as well as the performing artists that played on that day. And finally, remember, Rockland Fashion Week is going to be on November 8th. And that's all the news for today. And we want to thank our sponsors really quick. Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp, Kobe Sushi, located in New City, New York, 202 Cannabis in Garnerville, Susan Bover from Coldwell Banker Realty, Lauren Molino-Muller from Howard Hanna Rand Realty, Whole Shop Bagels located in Haverstraw, New York, 99 Signs. A business without a sign is a sign of no business. So don't do that, but you got to check them out at 99signs.com. Workforce Development Board of Rockland County, that's rocklandworks.org. Get a job! Why not? Seems like a pretty cool thing. Rockland Music Fest is a sponsor, of course. We're very appreciative to the entire volunteer team and everyone. Fiesta Acapulco, FC Perfection Auto Repair, Clean Space Maintenance Management Company, and our friends over at St. Thomas Aquinas College. Take care for now.